The naked part of my name means so much more than just the fact that I love being outside all natural. It also means organic and chemical-free. My eyes were opened back in the early 2000s when I first learned about the hidden ingredients that are in many of our foods that wreak havoc on our bodies. This is what started me down the path of learning more about what I was putting into my body, what's natural and what isn't. I stopped eating meat when I discovered how the animals were being kept, treated, and pumped full of hormones and antibiotics. I stopped using body and home care products that had chemicals in them, chemicals that are banned in many other countries because of the damage they do. And I haven't turned back since. As human beings, being a part of nature, there was something that always felt so off to me about putting something in or on my body that wasn't natural. And the more I started to work with nature, with the plants, it further cemented my views and beliefs on this. I mean, why is it that so many people are sick? Why is it that so many people are starving when we have grocery stores stocked with food? Why is it that more and more women can't get pregnant or eventually have to have full hysterectomies? Or why men's testosterone levels have dropped by nearly 50%? I have said many times on my videos that nature oftentimes mirrors back to us. We can see this in the plants. The basic things a plant needs to be healthy and well is sunlight, good soil, clean water, and air. But what I have also found interesting are studies that have been done on the emotional impact on plants and water. A group of students did a project where they grew 2 plants completely the same way, cared for them every day at the same time, but they talked to each plant differently. One plant they said loving things to, but the other plant they said awful things to, like I hate you, you're ugly, or you're stupid. What happened after weeks of this blew my mind. The plant that was spoken to in a loving way was huge, green, and healthy. The other plant was lifeless, dying, and decaying. And then, in the well-researched studies of water and rice, where Dr. Emoto did something similar, showing that the water changed based on positive thoughts, words, and emotions. And the rice experiment showed that the rice jar, labeled "You're an idiot," turned black and smelled bad after 30 days, while the other jar that said "Thank you" on it had fermented beautifully and smelled really good. There's so much more to us too than we think. We get caught up in the physical aspects of our lives, whether that's feeding our bodies, exercising, buying clothes, shoes, and other material things, and yet we give little thought to the emotional parts of us. And it's all energy. Our emotions are energy. Food is energy. Water is energy. Just as much as the sun is energy. And it all plays a huge role in not only the growth of plant life on this planet, but also on us. So in a world that keeps us dependent on a system that's corrupt and falling apart, turns us against one another, working ourselves to exhaustion just so we can try to keep up a certain lifestyle, or even just to survive, it's no wonder that we're sick or have the physical issues that we have. We've gotten further and further away from spirit, from all that is natural, and it eventually catches up to us. We've been in disharmony with nature for so long that we've become imbalanced in our lives and in our bodies. I just want to briefly interrupt this video to share how I keep my body and mind well and my spirit lifted. I hand blend my own herbal teas, and I've been working with the plants, especially the medicinal ones, for quite some time now. I'm a firm believer that anything our bodies need can be found on this earth or within us. The plants have healing powers. And now you can find my teas on my website, thenakedgardener.us. One of my herbal blends, Beam Me Up, is great for boosting men's libido, balancing hormones, and treating erectile dysfunction. It includes some powerful herbs that are known to be nature's Viagra. There's another called Free Radical that I especially crafted to reduce free radicals in the body. Because we live in a world that is full of toxins, exposed to radiation from our devices, poor diets, smoking, and chronic stress, our bodies produce too many free radicals and can't handle the overload, which can damage our cells and DNA. This tea is great for counteracting that. My Cloud9 tea helps those with ADHD or depression, and I have other medicinal tea blends that reduce anxiety and relieves digestive issues. And since we are cyclical by nature, when the seasons change, I love making a special blend that supports us in that new season. Right now, it's my Summer Sun tea, one of my favorites. It keeps my body cool in the heat, keeps me hydrated, and is loaded with vitamins and antioxidants. So good for the body when the summer heat rises. I love brewing this one in the sun. I just add the plants and water to my tea infuser and keep it in a sunny place. The heat of the sun naturally heats and purifies the water, extracting all of the potent powers from the plants and gives it more sun-powered energy. So good for you. You can find all of my teas on my website, thenakedgardener.us. Thanks for your support. Many of us don't even know where our food comes from, how it was grown, how it was raised or prepared. We pull food off the shelves, stick them into carts as we walk through aisles under fluorescent lights, and turn an eye at how this food got here. We sit in places that serve us food that was prepared by stressed out people who are struggling to make a living, working long hours just to get by, eating food that was sprayed with chemicals and grown by a large monocrop commercial farm across the country somewhere, or on the other side of the world. And we've become dependent on it. And that lack of care, curiosity, and consideration has led us to where we are today. That's why I started to grow my own food, so that I can get back to the basics and reconnect with nature. We are part of nature, not separate from it. The road hasn't been easy. It's been 4 years and I'm still learning how to do all of this. Every year is different. The weather is unpredictable. I have to deal with predators, pests, storms, fallen trees, sick animals, and death. But it is through these struggles that I continue to learn more and more about the wild nature of life and our role in it. It is unpredictable. Our time here flows like a river, and it's circular. Death and rebirth is happening around us every day. Growth and expansion, beauty and color, sound and healing, regeneration. We live in a magical place filled with wonder and so much mystery. And every time I do the tasks to take care of the animals in my care, making sure they have what they need, refilling their water, giving them food that was lovingly grown and prepared, seeing their love returned back to me, reminds me why I do this work, why I keep coming back to it. Every time I step foot into my garden, and plant a seed, water it, care for it, and then watch it begin to grow, take new shape, and become sometimes even taller than me. I can't help but stand in awe. Sometimes it makes it even hard to want to eat it. It's so beautiful. This world is special, but we must be intimately involved with it to truly understand it and coexist with it. Or else, why are we here? It can't possibly be to work hard in school and work tirelessly at a job surrounded by four walls, fill our homes with more and more stuff, endlessly scroll the internet, and eat food that we can't really call food anymore. That can't possibly be it. There's so much more to life. It is in those special moments walking through the forest, coming face to face with a deer, being stung by a bee for crossing its path, excitedly watching a flower bloom, and seeing the sunlight cast its shadows on the earth below my feet that makes me feel the most alive. This is where I want to be. This is where I belong. And this is where I will stay.